Okay, if you're editing audio with the Creative Cloud applications, it's important that you use the recommended methods and quality equipment if you're doing this in the real world. Clearly, we don't live in a real world right now. We're in some alternate universe where, we're at home, we have distractions, and we only probably have the built-in mic in our system, and that's fine. So just know that if you were really doing this, you would have better equipment. Now is the time that we're going to go through and make sure that the audio in our timeline is not too loud or too soft and that there isn't any unwanted noise. And we're going to basically make this overall master that's perfect for us. While we play this back, at this point, by the way, your clips and effects, video 1, 2, 3, your graphics, everything should be timed out and perfect. You don't want to bother doing your audio before you have everything timed out and perfect, because when certain sound effects happen or go away is tied to the storyline that you're telling with your video. So what you'll do then is you'll play it through and we'll look at some audio meters. Right now there happens to be one right here on the side, but when we switch into a different workspace in a minute, there's definitely going to be more meters that we can look at. So we'll listen to it with headphones, good headphones in the best situation, or just on your computer speakers for now. And we're going to try to figure out where we need to make improvements. So we're going to use both Premiere Pro and Adobe Audition, like I mentioned. So the audio mixer that's built right into Premiere Pro gets its basic look and function from Audition, which is the all audio program in the Adobe suite. So there's some enhanced audio meters in Premiere Pro now, and we can easily transfer clips from Premiere to Audition and from Audition back to Premiere. We can do noise removal in Audition, like I mentioned, and we can do a lot of extra things in Audition that go kind of beyond the scope of Premiere itself. So before we do anything more, let's change our workspace and set up our preferences in the audio mixer. So first thing we're going to do is up here in the workspaces, we're going to choose audio. And now we have some different looks here. So we still have our project panel. It's now up here at the top left. Effects, our media browser is here, our markers are here, history, info, libraries. So let's keep the project panel, but you can see your other options here. Now, in what used to be our source monitor, we can see that we have an audio clip mixer. We have a track mixer. We still have the source panel, and we still have effect controls. So these were the two that we've been seeing most often, but now the clip mixer and the track mixer have come to the forefront. It's probably a little bit bigger than it needs to be. Your program monitor is still the same. We have a preview, our timeline, and all of our options that we're used to seeing. Your toolbar is now over here, kind of where it was before, and here's our timeline. And then we also have this audio feature right here. And then at the far right, we have a column called Essential Sound. So this is our new workspace, and we're going to look at some different things here. All right. Okay, what we want to jump to next is our audio meter window, and if you're not sure which one it is, whenever you are wondering if a window is active or not, you can go up to the drop down here and we see that audio meters is indeed on, but if we click on it, our blue outline of active will jump to this. So this is the audio meters. I'm going to stretch this out, so I'm going to put my timeline here, and I'm going to go this way. Depending on if this graph is wider than it's tall or taller than it's wide, you're going to see a different readout. From here, I'm going to go back to the timeline and I'm just going to scrub through this. And you can see how these audio bar readings are coming out from the left and moving to the right. And you can see how some are lower, some are louder, some bounce even higher. So that's one way of checking it. Now I would need more room with my timeline, so I'm going to move it back over here. Now that this is more vertical, these lines are going to bounce up and down as we go through our timeline. So similar readout. That might be what you're used to seeing if you remember any old cool stereos back in the day that would have cool lights like that. All right, so that's your audio meter. Over here in the audio meter, if you right click, you can see that there are some other options, and if you are a sound editor, this will make sense to you and you will understand what you're looking for here. We are not sound editors. We are babies. We're just playing with this very lightly, but know that if you understand what all that means and you want to tweak things, you've got a lot of different readouts here. So that's the first thing. The preferences should be set, but let's just double check. So up in Premiere Pro, if you're on a Mac, you're going to find your preferences here. If you're on a PC, it's going to be under File and then Preferences. Within here, we want to go to Audio Hardware, and we're just going to double check and see what is set up here in our preferences to select our audio monitoring device. All right, here we go. Excuse me. Audio hardware. So our default input is the built-in microphone, and the output is the built-in output. Whatever the default is here is correct for what you have right now. Output mapping, we want to double check that the map output is Adobe Desktop Audio. If you have other options and you're working with better equipment, you might want to tweak some changes in here, but if you're using your laptop or a desktop computer, it's pretty safe to guess that the default preferences are just fine. So I'm going to just say okay or cancel because I didn't change anything, actually.